I'm recording now. So yeah, we can proceed with that. I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying that the moment you are turning in your link or you are turning in your submissions, ensure that you click on the submit button and we will duly receive it from our end, right? So I hope that is noted. And let's move straight into the class. Thank you, so that we don't waste much time. Hello, sir. If you are with us, please, you have the mic.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ostus, for that. Once again, I apologize for joining in. I think I'm like 15 minutes late. So I was in another meeting and it was very important as well. So it took some time to quickly wrap things up. Um, okay, so I think we can start. We all know that if I'm not wrong, Ostus, this should be the last class, correct?
Yes, this should be the last class, but then we still have the LinkedIn optimization, which I just feel like is just our last lap to
Oh, okay.
conclude before the
Okay.
graduation. Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. So this class is meant to just explain to you your capstone project, right? How you're going to go about it. So that's the essence of today's class. So I'm going to go into that right now. Um, so there's a document I shared that with us already. So I don't know if you guys have seen it. Can you see my screen? So I shared this document with you already. So the link is in the chat section, so you can check it out. So the capstone project is something that would cover everything you have done. It's going to cover everything you have done. So if you have not gone through all of those videos, I would advise that you go back starting from tonight and take them one after the other to check, all right? So to see what has been done in class, the assignments you were given, so that you can understand. So we are going to, where you need logs, we are going to send you the log files that you're going to use, right? But for now, this is just like the question. So I'll read. Everything you have learned across the 8 classes comes together here. The capstone is built around a single realistic incident, a security breach at a fictional Nigerian fintech bank, which is called Kudipe Microfinance Bank. You will work the case the way a real cross-functional security team would, moving from one challenge for each class. Each challenge stands on its own on a portfolio piece, and together they form complete end-to-end investigation that proves you can do the work, not just about, not just talk about it, right? So the goal is simple, and the goal is by the end, you will have a public recruiter ready body of work that can land you an entry level role or an internship, right? So you do not need a job to get experience here. You build your experience, then show it. So that's the essence of what we're doing. So we want something that can help you create a portfolio that you can use to land jobs or get internships. So that's the sense of this. So now this is the scenario, more like the question or the context to the questions. Kudipe Microfinance Bank is a mid-sized Lagos-based fintech serving roughly 400,000 customers. Over a single weekend, something went wrong. And what are the things that went wrong? Customer transaction data may have been accessed. The security team noticed unusual activity only after the fact, and early signs point to a problem that began in the company's cloud environment and spreading word. The attackers may still have had access when the team began responding. So these are things you should pay attention to. Kudipe's small security team needs help reconstructing what happened, securing the evidence, fixing what was exposed, meeting their legal obligations under the Nigerian law, and reporting it all to a worried board of directors. The team is you. Each challenge below hands you one piece of the investigation. Note, Kudipe is entirely fictional. Kudipe is entirely fictional. All work is performed in designated lab environments on an instructor provided sample data. So we're going to give you everything you need, never against real systems, organizations, or people. So here are the 8 challenges that you're going to solve. The first one, this is a challenge one, is that you're going to read the wire. What does the network tell us, right? So, and here we are mapping this to class one in case you want to have something to fall back on or where you can get information about it. So here you are going to be using Wireshark. So, and then for the Wireshark, I mean, aside from Wireshark, you're going to be using the knowledge of OSI and TCP/IP model, core protocols like HTTP and HTTPS, DNS, SSH, and RDP. Also, you'll be handed the packet capture. I'll give you a pcap, all right, that is taken from Kudi-based network during the breach window. So you're going to open it in Wireshark and answer some questions like which protocols were abused, what suspicious external destination did traffic flow to, and what does the pattern suggest the attacker was doing. Then you're going to map at least 2 of your findings to the CIA triad. In fact, I would like that you map all of the findings to the CIA triad. You already know the principle, the confidentiality, integrity, or availability. So you're going to map that, oh, which principle was violated amidst these three, and how do you know? You are going to provide explanation on how you know. And please, if you are using LLM, that is, we are using AI model for anything, you have to state it. If you did not declare that use AI model to write anything, to generate anything, then you are not going to be graded and you are not going to be issued certificate. So your certificate should be ready starting from, because your graduation is June 6th, which should be like this Saturday, and your certificates will be ready by June. I mean, at least you start getting the first batch by June 11, because we have a number of people, who are who we are handling. I mean, that we are attending to at the moment. So your certificate will be ready by then. All right. So, and from there you should, and your certificate is getting more recognized now because we've been able to register the initiative or as a foundation or as a cybersecurity foundation that offers like free learning, and also it's something that's carries more weight right now. So it's not something you should joke with. And for all criteria, I think Ostus is still going to come up here and they'll give you the criteria to get your certificate, maybe your post, your 30 days challenge, the assignments. I think some of the assignments are still open. You can still submit them. So these are the requirements. Ostus will still come up on stage and tell you more about it. So what are you going to be delivering for the challenge one? You're going to deliver a one-page network traffic analysis with annotated Wireshark screenshots. I want to see your Wireshark screenshots annotated. You might be wondering what is annotated like. So, you can take the screenshot and then probably ring the parts you are trying to point our attention to. It can be in red color. It should be in red color. So you can put a box around it so that we can know that this is what you are pointing at, right? So in case you need to annotate more than a single part of the screenshot, just make it neat. All right, neatness is going to be graded as well. So maybe after this class, I'm going to send you a rubric, all right, that you can use. I mean, how we are going to grade it for you. So we are going to show you that as well. So yeah, any questions based on this? Any questions? All right, Manuel, go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I just wanted clarification on your statement about the use of LLM AI.
Okay.
Please, did you say not to use it at all or to use and indicate that you used it?
Yeah, use it and declare that you use it and mention what you used it for.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
so
you very much.
yeah, use it. You can use it. You are free to use it and it doesn't impact your grade. Unless I'm seeing that maybe you are using it to run analysis or something. But you yourself, you need to be intuitive. Like you need to sit down, look at what is happening in the what's it called? In the practical we gave to you, because that is the essence of the project. So you need to be able to infer what is happening. But probably after you've written some stuff, you now want to reconstruct or refine it, you can use LLM, or maybe in some other areas you can use LLM, but just declare it for what you used it for, right? So that we'll know that this is it. So we can't say don't use LLM. It was, I mean, all of these models were developed for our assistance, right? For our help. So we can't just say you shouldn't use it. Yeah. So Andrew,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Andrew, your question.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Okay, the
evening.
thing is, I have actually been sick for a while, and I was admitted for a long period of time, for a couple of weeks, and I got discharged not too long, so I finally had time to go through the group and everything. I've not done any of the assignments, but from what I saw on the group chat, I saw that there were like three different sectors: the Wireshark, the S Punk, and then GRC. I'm leaning towards the GRC aspect. I want to know, am I to do all of the assignments, or do I just focus on the area in which I am, working towards?
You have to do all of the assignments.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. All
Are
right,
they still
Chloe,
open for submission, please?
like, it's still open for submission. It will be open for submission until June 6th. All the assignments.
June's.
Yeah, June 6th.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the,
I
the,
have some
dead,
time to
the
come.
deadline to your capstone project will be June 6th as well.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so you
Thank you
have to
very
do
much, sir.
that. And I'm sorry to know about your health. Yeah, yeah. So, Klugan
Thank
David. Yeah. Klugan David, can you talk now? You can go ahead and talk. You are unmuted. I mean, you've been given the mic.
I unmute myself. I unmuted myself before.
Okay, okay. Go ahead and
Uh,
speak now.
yeah. So I'm saying that my issue still has to do with the AI model. Is there a percentage of where that we can base on the AI model, or anything we can do just that we need to reference it?
I think do most of the work yourself. That's what I would say. Don't depend on AI model for everything. Do most of the work
Yeah.
yourself. Use AI model for tasks that you see to just be many that it doesn't have to do with you thinking, or do you get it? So do most of
Okay,
the
sir.
work yourself. Yeah.
Okay, so some of the questions I'm asking is for the general, the benefit of all of us, because we are saying that you'll be marked. So we need deeper understanding so that after the graduation, there won't be kind of negativity but I have done it, but I have not been accepted. So there should be a level of clarity. And having you on call today, I want to use the opportunity to also plead that is it possible that after the cohort, we can have a session to listen to members to know where this test cohort could be improved for upcoming ones, because it's a good initiative, and I'm of the view that we can all input our view to make it better for those who will be joining after. Thank you very much.
Okay, if I get your question very well, you are trying to say that are we going to give you a chance to give feedback based on this so that we can improve the coming cohorts?
Exactly.
I mean, absolutely. We are open. A feedback form will be shared after this. We do that for every cohort. So this cohort is like the most tightened one in the sense that we have limited time. All right, so and this would be like the first more time we are going to run it that way. And you could say that we have a lot of activities to handle. And kudos to the team. I know that we have some lapses everywhere, but we are still trying to ensure that we are learning on the job, right? And see how we can improve on the experience that we can deliver to others in the subsequent cohort. But a feedback form will be shared, and we would like you to be very honest, brutally honest. Tell us how you feel about it. Tell us what we need to do better so that we can deliver a better experience to the subsequent cohorts. All right, thank you for that. All right, media success will be the last question I'll get for now. Then after this, we are going to proceed in today's class. All right, media.
All right.
Um,
Good evening, sir.
good evening.
Yeah. Please, my question is not on this. What we've been talking about is about the 30 days challenge. So, I watched today's video and I was trying to set up my what's it called? My DVWA, but I'm having issues. So, if I click on create or reset database, it's just taking me to a blank page. So I'm not able to proceed.
Have you discussed that with any of your team? Have you posted it on the group to request help?
Yes, I posted it on the group this morning, but I didn't get any response.
So is there anyone who can volunteer to help him out? Maybe hop on a call with him to see what the issue is. Anyone on this call? So I want you to volunteer in the chat section, then I'll just pair you guys.
All right,
Anyone
thank you.
who is willing to help out, who has already set up their own DVWA and they are willing to help. Anyone? Okay, Kirsten. Kirsten has volunteered. So write Kirsten now, and you can probably just get his or her WhatsApp. I think it's a she, I don't know. So get their WhatsApp contact and proceed from there.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep, yep. Okay. So yeah, any other question? Okay, it's a he. All right, thank you, Kirsten. Thank you, Kirsten. Okay, so let me share my screen again and then we continue. Um, all right. Confirm you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now? Okay. All right, makes sense. So let's proceed. Now, that is for that, and then also below it, I put why it lands you a job, so can analyst internships, uh, screens. I mean, what they do is that they screen for people who can actually read a capture, read a capture file and probably try to, infer or generate insight from what is being read. So for the challenge too, and this one is just like the triad and the noise, find the one real alert, right? So for this is mapped to the second class, and it has to do with the operating systems for security plus introduction to SOC. All right. So for this Linux command line, you're going to be using the grep hawk, Windows event logs, syslog. I'm going to give you all of this. All of this will be shared with you latest by tomorrow. So now, the night the breach happened, Kudipay SIM fired hundreds of alerts from the provided log sets. All right. So uh, we are going to provide you the log set, right? So you're going to use the Linux command line to filter and isolate the one true positive anomaly, a suspicious login, a privilege escalation, an odd process, or similar. So you are going to decide as an L1 analyst would as an N1 analyst would. So, is this a false positive or do you escalate? So you are going to, because as an L1 analyst, level one analyst, what you're trying to do is that you're trying to check, okay, is this a false positive alert or it's something that is really true and I need to escalate to the right team or right people that will handle it. So your deliverable for this, an L1 SOC triad notes stating the anomaly you found, the exact commands you used to find it, your true versus false positive reasoning, and your escalation decision. It has to contain all of this. If you miss out on anything, you are missing out on grade, on your score. So it has to contain all of that. And why it lands your job? This mirrors the daily workflow of an entry-level SOC analyst, the single most common first job in cybersecurity. Then to challenge three, so here you are thinking like the attacker. You are reconstructing the way in, right? And this is mapped to the third class, which has to do with ethical hacking and penetration testing. So the tools you're going to be using Nmap. You're going to be using the knowledge of reconnaissance and open source intelligence thinking. You're going to use the knowledge of OWASP top 10. I put everything in the deck I shared with you, even though time restricted us or did not permit us to go through everything. But I could remember that the slides I shared with you was well detailed enough, right? So also you should be able to switch perspectives, all right? And on the assigned Acme lab target, you're going to perform reconnaissance and run an map scan, then interpret the output. For this, we might not use TriAcme, right? We might use we might just give you what to do, right? And it will just ask you to run some of those commands, right? So we'll find a way around it. So this particular part might be refined, and we might eventually, because if you're going to get you a lab, we're going to get you a free lab that you can use, but this part will be looked into before the entire thing is shared with you. But just have an idea of what you're going to be doing. So the description is still the same. The platform and the resources that will be leveraged might just be different, right? So you're going to run an mmap scan, then interpret the output. Also, you're going to ask yourself which services are open. You're going to tell us, and which OWASP top 10 weakness most plausibly give an attacker the initial foothold into Kudipay's web application. Also, you're going to reconstruct the early kill chain, which is the reconnaissance, scanning, exploitation, and others. So for your deliverable, you're going to deliver a mini penetration test report with a scope statement, interpreted Nmap output, um, also the suspected OWASP vulnerability, and one concrete remediation. So I'm reading through everything again. I'm thinking this is much, right? To be delivered in just like 6 days. So I think this is much because I know some of you guys are working. So maybe I would just say that you should select any three or any four. Or how does that sound? Yeah, so we'll consider, even though I've already created a rubric, all right, so and each of them is, I'll show you at the end of the lesson. I think each of them is carrying like 10 marks each, and maybe aside from the last one, which has to do with 15 points or something. So I will show you that. So then for the challenge four, this is where we are dealing with the digital forensics. So here you are finding the truth and you're recovering the evidence. So the tools you're going to use, autopsy, like disk image or volatility, for memory dump, FTK imager, for chain of custody discipline knowledge. So you're going to use all this, right? And at this point, the attacker is gone, but left traces on a compromised Kudipe workstation. Examine the provided disk image on RAM dump and recover at least 3 artifacts that prove data was accessed or moved. Deleted files, it could be browser history, suspicious processes, or unexpected network connections. And you're going to handle the evidence correctly and document a clear chain of custody, right? So we are going to give you all the necessary resources you need for this too. Then for challenge five, this has to do with the cloud security. And here you are going to be using an AWS environment, using the knowledge of IAM, which is identity and access management. We have the S3, we have the CloudTrail, and the knowledge of the shared responsibility model that you acquired in class as well. And here the description is that the breach began in the cloud, right? So you will now review the provided misconfigured AWS environment and identify the 3 misconfigurations that open the door. Think public storage, over permissioned roles, or exposed credentials. Trace the attacker's movement through CloudTrail and state clearly who was responsible for each gap under the shared responsibility model. So your deliverable for this would be a cloud risk and remediation brief with 3 critical findings, supporting CloudTrail evidence, and 2 prioritized remediation recommendations. So, and I've added why it's lands you a job there. So then for the challenge 6, here, this is where we are dealing with governance, risk, and compliance. And the tools that you're going to be using are the risk register, the ISO 27001, the NIST cybersecurity framework, the Nigerian Data Protection Act, the General Data Protection Regulation awareness, and every other thing as regards DRC. So here the description for this is that because Kudipe is a Nigerian fintech, the breach carries legal weight. So you are going to build a risk register entry for the incidents that such as the assets, threats, vulnerability, likelihood, impact, and treatment. Also, you're going to draft the NDPA breach notification communication. It will entail who must be involved and within what timeline. So then you're going to map two of the field controls to ISO 27001 or the NIST cybersecurity framework. So your deliverable will be a GRC incident pack, which will contain a risk register entry, a draft NDPA notification, and a short control mapping table. And I've added why it lands you a job there. So maybe I should pause here. Um, yeah, maybe I should probably pause here and try to get some more questions before we go into connecting it all. So, okay, so any further questions? People are already protesting in the chat section. Please, we should choose any three. Really? So you guys don't want to do it? It's not much. It's not much. It's something, if I sit down very well, it's something I can finish everything in like 6, 7 hours. Like at least that is even after like maybe taking break in between. Okay, yeah. Okusonya Samuel, you can talk now. Okusonya Samuel, are you there?
All right, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sorry, please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, I can hear you.
Yeah, good evening, sir. So thank you so much for the listening. So my question is, okay, so for the deliverables, like, are we to like which platform are we supposed to use to like to write the report? Because I think the deliverable looks like these are the things that in short notes and the things that are required for us to do at the end of each challenge. So like what platform are we supposed to like use to just like write the report and attach it to like the work?
Yeah, you can use Google Doc, you can use Microsoft Word.
My
What you just need to do is to write it. You can also use PowerPoint, all right? So, in fact, I think you guys should use PPTX, right, which is the PowerPoint of Google slide. All right, put everything inside. And I want to see the appendix section. Appendix section are the parts where you can't put inside the main document, all right? And you are now adding like because you are going to submit. Okay, this is it. For each of those things, for the 3 assignment, try to do okay, 3 or 4. I will make my decision after the class. 3 or 4. So prepare a Google document or a Microsoft Word document for each of them separately. Then you now prepare a PowerPoint slide that brings everything together. So which is like the one that you want to submit to the board of directors or to the executives, right? So that one will contain the executive summary and some other things, right? Yeah, I think I've taught you guys how to write reports, right? So it contains the executive summary and every other thing that you want the management to what's it called, to see. Also, inside that this thing, so let there be an appendix. If as you are writing the report, if there's any explanation that you think we need to know, so there's a way you can connect each of those things, right? So maybe it's on page 20 and we need to go to page 20 to check, link it, and maybe probably, okay, let's say on page 1, there's something you want us to read, and that thing is on page 20, maybe it's on appendix. Link that particular thing to the appendix section so that once I click on it, it takes me there. Or if it is in an external document that you've submitted, so you can just add it as an hyperlink. So as I click on it, I can go to that document, and please ensure that all the document you are submitting, you are giving permission for anybody to view. Permission for anybody to view. Do you get it? So we are going to give you the link to submit everything. So majorly, what you might need to submit is just the presentation deck. But that presentation deck would be linked to all of the 3 or 4 other documents that you have prepared. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you are writing something on the presentation deck and I need to read more about it, in fact, even for each of them, so just tell me that what's it called? The document or the full is here. So I will click on the here and then it takes me to where the document is. So add the link as an hyperlink to that here there. So don't copy and paste the link there. Add it as an hyperlink. There's a way you do that. You see the link icon on any software that you are using to prepare your slides. So add the link there. So once I click on it, it takes me to where the document is and ensure that all the documents are what's it called? Are having the permission to read. Like I can read it. I won't have to be requesting permission from you because if we are grading and you are making us go through that stress, we might not just grade anything. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, you need to take note of that. All right, yeah. Any other thing? Okay, so I think I've been able to explain that. Somebody is saying that we should extend the deadline. You guys don't want to graduate. Your graduation ceremony is by 6th. Okay, yeah, maybe you can extend it to like 7th or 8th. So us two will determine that. So you can extend it to like 7th or 8th. Then that might delay your certificate then. So do you get it? But your certificate will be out before the end of the month. So you guys can post. We are going to ensure that we deliver everything once. So, and then we'll give you like graduation, this thing as well that you can post that I've graduated from this. So we are going to just ensure that you are active on the group. All right. So that by the time that is okay, I think for the graduation ceremony post, we can post that. And then maybe on the day you are graduating. So we are going to set up also please talk to the designer. We should set up a design for them that they can attach their picture to and they can see that they are graduating, right? And aside from that, so I think after that we can now, yeah, we can now prepare certificates. So you can share your certificates later. So could you also please just choose 3 parts? Because next week is going to be super hectic. Uh, okay, so no problem. So I will think about that and I'll get back to you. Yeah, we can extend it to like 8th. So let's extend it to 8th of this month so that you guys will be able to deliver. All right, Tosin Aribisala, let me get your question.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, it is here on the the cumbersome nature of the assignment.
Okay.
You just said that if you if you approach it, it might take you around 7 hours. And if someone
Mhm.
like you who has the capacity to mentor us could spend 7 hours on the task, then we should, we should be expecting we should be expecting 8 days for some of us. So we are still begging that
I'm talking of 7 hours for everything. No, now I'm giving you guys just 3 or 4 out of everything.
okay. Thank you, sir. That sounds good. Thank you, sir.
So yeah, your question, is that your question?
Yes, that's my question.
Okay. No, don't worry, I will give you guys, I'll just ask you guys to select any. So, but
All
I will
right.
provide all the resources you need for each of them so that
All
you can.
right. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Technopop 5 Pro. You just want us to know that you are using a big phone. Technopop 5 Pro. Can we hear from you? Technopop 5 Pro. Okay. So, sir, please, is this 30 days challenge also part of what you are grading? Yes, so it's part of what you are grading, what we are grading. If you know that you've not posted, maybe on a day you can post like 15. Just be posting day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. If it is not in that form, you are not graduating. You are not getting the certificate. If you did not go through everything, and don't just post. I saw some people making posts and they are saying that they will just be writing something that is not in line with what was inside the link we gave to them. Hey, okay. If you know you've not corrected all of that, some of you guys are not seeing the videos. The videos are to help you grow. That's why we put the videos there. God will help you. So just know that if you did not, I see some of those posts. I follow some of the for you to know that I follow you guys back to back. I see some of the things you guys write. I was like, this one is not from the video we gave you. I don't know where you got that from, but this is not from the video we gave you. Okay. So then the next one, this is where we connect it together, right? And this is a full incident report. So this is where it clicks combine all your work from challenges 1 to 6 into one cohesive end-to-end incident report on the Kudipe bridge. And this is the one that will be in the deck. All right. So somebody is saying that please let's just use Google Doc alone. No, we are not. If you are preparing a report, you are going to be using slides. I want to see good illustrations, nice designs on those slides. All right, because neatness is going to be graded. So you need to look at them like that. Yeah. So you are going to tell the whole story, how the attacker got in, what each player saw or missed, what the forensics proved, what the regulatory fallout is, and most importantly, the single layer at which this breach could most cheaply be prevented, right? So I want to see the remediation to the remediation steps. So yeah, I want to see that. So for these, you're going to this can contain more than that. So because of what I just said now, so let me just say 10 page. So, but let it just be linked together with some of those documents that I mentioned. So then, so this is where you turn your work into interviews. So I think we still hold the class on this. So yeah, I think so we are going to create a form for you so that you'll be able to submit with that. So now let me show you the rubric. But the rubric will be adjusted now because of what we what's it called? It will be adjusted because of the things I just mentioned now. So um, from 1 to 6, you can see that we're having 10. Connecting it to your presentation deck is 25 points. And launching it, which is like the LinkedIn case study, so 15 points. Maybe we might have to remove that as well. Probably you can make your post after the entire thing, but the rubric will be restructured. But let me just show you what are the things we are looking for. Dimensions, technical accuracy. For the exemplary, your findings are correct, your findings are complete and verified. Also, there are no materials error. So that is exemplary. That's when you get like 90 to 100 for that. So if it is proficient, that is 70 to like 89. That is largely correct, minor gaps or small error. So developing, like, not proficient, not exemplary. So that is where you have like several errors or unsupported claims, partial grasp, and you're going to get in between 40 and 69%. So not yet, like you've not even, you don't, your findings are incorrect, missing, we have a lot of misunderstandings happening everywhere across the tasks, then that is where you're going to be getting 0 to 39%. So I'm going to be sharing the rubric with you as well so that you can check. So for the evidence and method, it must be reproducible. If I check from my end, I should be able to say the same thing. Tools and commands should be shown. Screenshots and logs should be cited. Evidence handled correctly. For proficiency to that is 70 to 89%, method mostly shown, right? So most claims backed by evidence, but maybe I might not be able to get like the exact thing you're getting, right? So, but between that, you should be having 70 to 89%. Then for developing, that is sparse evidence, you are not providing enough evidence, hard to reproduce, then you're going to be getting 640 to 69%. So no method, no evidence claim unsupported. This one said you even get 0. So that's why I said between 0 to 39%. So for communication, it has to be clear to non-experts, clear to executives, right? Um, Please, can we have this guide about reporting and presenting a kind of text for easy referencing? You mean that can I share the rubric with you? Is that the question? Emmanuel. So Miracle, you're asking me that question, right? So why didn't you post all this while? Okay. So Manuel, yeah, over to you.
Yeah, thanks for the elaborate explanations about submitting this capstone project. I just wanted us to have a reference, um, like in a kind of a text, like a post in the group where we're seeing all these guidelines or this way about it, so that somehow we could just pick up from wherever we might be missing out on getting it done exactly as required. So I'm just asking, is it possible we have this, what, all of what you said, can we have it in a form of, in a written form and post it in a group so that we can, tag along that?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Hostels will drop something. Oh, your course drop.
All right, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
And sir,
Okay.
can I still speak on?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, just relatively, I'm just asking to, based on what someone said about posting in 15 days, I'm sorry, 15, making 15 posts in a day. Um, you know, we would
Not
have had,
in a week. You have a week now, have you? Is it a day? You have a week left, right?
okay, just wanted to be sure about what the person was saying relative to what you said
Yeah,
that,
you was saying that posting 15 posts in a week. That was what you said.
oh, in a week.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you very
So,
much.
oh yeah, you said in less than 1 week. So the thing is, I've made 15 posts in a week before. So, yeah,
Sir,
it's almost
you are the
like-
boss here, sir. You just cannot compare with the, I mean, the distance, the gap is just, I mean, yawning, it's a yawning wide gap. So, what you can do in 2 minutes, in 3 minutes, be sure that your mentees cannot do them in maybe 30 hours.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the truth of the matter is, you guys just have to develop yourself too, right? So yeah, I mean, we are not forcing you to say, "Oh, do this." That's why we had created the structure right from the beginning. We told you guys. So if you guys had followed what you want to follow from the beginning, you won't be in this situation. So if you're in this situation, please, I'm begging you, sort yourself out. Because I won't be the only one grading. We have like a team. In fact, your mentees are just like very few. You are seeing very few people to come and teach. We have like a dedicated team in the background that are going to be going through all of this. So I'm not the only one that, in fact, I might just check a few out of everything, right? Or when the grades are ready, I'll just look through everything. So there are people who are going to be behind this. So please do what you ought to do. Do what you ought to do. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, so we'll try our best. Thank you very
All
much.
right. All right. Please do. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Media success.
Yeah, all right. Sir, I want to ask concerning this final capstone, are we allowed to collaborate? Like, if we can organize amongst ourselves, like, like a mini group, can we collaborate?
You can collaborate, but I must not be able to, it must not be evident or obvious that you guys copied each other. Collaboration is different from we are copying each other. Or you've done it, help me share it. It's different.
Yes, I get that.
So what I will look at is how many people selected the same thing.
All
Those
right. Good.
who selected the same numbers, do they have the same submission? If they have, you are not even going to graduate at all. Yeah, I'm not scaring you. I'm just trying to tell you our policy. So, you should be careful of that. And don't just go
Yes,
and give LLM to review it. I've been in AI industry, LLM. You should know what I do, like for some years now. So don't just go and just give it to it to I use it on a daily basis, right? So yeah. I think I've extended the submission to 8th of this month. If you are in camp, you are in NYC camp and you won't be back by then, reach out to us or talk to your course rep, give your name to your course rep. to talk to us too. We will handle that. So we can always handle yours outside, that of others. But if you are not in NYC camp, so or which camp are you in? If it's NYC, it's permitted. But if it is not, then you might have to, find a way to sort yourself out or to do this. Yeah, Klug and David. This will be like the last question I'll be getting or something. Klug and David, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait.
Oh,
Okay, I was going to ask you a question, but I think I forgot again. I'll put it in the chat.
okay, no problem.
So, sorry for that.
All right, it's okay, it's fine. Okay, guys. So if you the quality bands, apply to every deliverable, dimension, technical accuracy. I think I've explained all of this. Then communication as well. Clear to a non-expert, all right, precise for a specialist, well structured, no filler, right? Generally clear for proficient, generally clear and organized, minor lapses. Then for developing, disorganized or jargon heavy, hard to follow. Then for not yet, which you might probably be getting zero for, unclear, incomplete, or copied, that is AI filler, right? If I see that you just use AI for everything, you yourself, you are not, it doesn't even look as though you do or you try to do some reasoning around it, then just forget it. Yeah. So you raise your hand, Precious, if you want to talk. You raise your hand, then we'll give you the mic. So that's how others have been doing it. So then for professionalism, it has to be realistic. Recommendations have to be realistic, polished, or ready to share publicly with pride. All right. Something that if I share it, people will start looking for me that who did this amazing job. All right, for provisions, all right, that would be like solid and presentable, all right, light polish needed, right? So for developing, that is maybe something quite rough, all right, not yet shareable. Recommendations are vague. So if we notice that you're going to get between 40 to 69. So unprofessional, I mean, for not yet, if it is unprofessional or unusable as a portfolio piece, then you're going to be likely getting zero for that. So then what ends full mark? All right, read the wire. All right, correctly identify the abuse protocols and the suspicious external destinations from the pickup file that will give to you. All right, so you are going to annotate the Wireshark evidence as well. At least two findings correctly mapped to the CIA triad, as I mentioned earlier. Then for the triad, the noise, you need to isolate the true positive anomaly from the noise. You are going to show the exact Linux commands used. You're going to sound true versus, false positive reasoning, show us that, and you're going to justify escalation decision. Yeah. So, question, I am unable to speak at this time. That's why I'm typing. I've been posting on LinkedIn, but I haven't been logging the links in the Google form for that. What should I do? Can I log? Yeah, you can log all the links. Yeah. Just select the day for each and then log them. So then think like the attacker. So this has to be scoped. All right. So you have to use a lawful approach as you've been taught in class. So it has to be correctly interpreted. All right. So the nmap output has to be correctly interpreted. So So you also have to name a plausible OWASP top 10 initial access vector and at least one concrete remediation, right, for each, like one concrete remediation for each. So then finding the truth, right? Here you are recovering three valid artifacts evidencing access or exfiltration, and this is going to be gotten from the resource we shared with you. You're going to use the correct tool, autopsy volatility FTK imager, and you're going to show us a clean chain of custody statement. So if you do all of that, you're going to get your full mark. So then for close the door, so that one you have to identify three real misconfigurations. All right, you have to support them with cloud trail evidence, assign responsibility correctly under the shared model, and you're going to prioritize two remediations. You're going to provide two prioritized remediations. So then for the sixth one, which is govern the response, you're going to complete the risk register entry. You're going to develop one from scratch yourself, or probably we'll give you a sample that you can use. Yeah, we'll look into that. So it's going to show the assets, the threat, the vulnerability, the likelihood, the impact, the treatment. And you're going to provide an accurate NDPA notification, who and the timeline. And you're going to give us two field controls that are mapped to ISO 27001 or the NIST cybersecurity framework. So then connecting it all, we might not grade that, which is 7. Okay, yeah, connecting it all, that is where you have your presentation deck. And this is just 25 marks, all right? We might increase it to 30 or 35, right? So this is where you are trying to bring your challenge 1 to 6 together into one coherent narrative rather than six stapled reports, right? So you are going to have like the stapled report, I mean, the six reports extra, three reports elsewhere because you're going to be selecting three, right? But at the same time, you have to bring them together. So link them to that presentation deck, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, you're going to name the single most cost-effective prevention points. It has to have this body level summary plus technical appendix. I mentioned that as well. And for the appendix, I think your document, the document you've provided or you've created for each of the three tasks can suffice here. But if you think there are things you should have added there but you didn't add them, try to create an appendix section for the presentations deck and then try to use that. But even if you are going to be using the presentation, I mean the documents for appendix, ensure that you call them or link them at the appendix section. So every presentation deck should have the appendix section. So then launch it, then we might not grade that one. So if you're getting 90 to 100, you're having a distinction, and that is where you're having, portfolio ready across the board. Recommend featuring on our because we are trying to launch Vino Center of Learning and Development. We might have to feature you on one of our channels, and also we feature you on our initiative account as well. So 75 to 89, that is for merit. So that is a strong employable body of work. Only minor polish needed. So 60 to 74, which is meant for pass. Okay, for those who finish with distinction, let me just say the top 1%, we are going to give you free access to one of the things we want to do is that we're going to, okay, we give you a discounted access to our CLD that we are launching after this program. And for the CLD, it costs some amount of money, but maybe we can give you a 50% discount. But that will be for just one person, which will be the overall best graduating student. And the CLD comes with 2 months internship where you're going to learn like a real world experience. Like you're going to really, really deal with like a real environment and do a lot of more practical. And the program will span for 4 months. All right. So at the end of that 4 months, you should be competing to get a job at Google or something because we are going to really, really train you during the course of that 4 months. So the best graduating student will be getting like maybe a 50% discount, just one person. So be that one person, right? So for 60 to 74, that is pass. And so that will be like solid foundation. One or two challenges will benefit from more depth. So 50 to 59, that's the borderline. And here, just revisions requested on the weakest challenges before certification. That's what we are going to ask you to do. And you have to submit like the revised document or, the core document containing the revision before we issue you your certificate. And below 50, you are not even graduating at all. So you are going to resubmit. You are going to, we are going to tell you all the key challenges, the things you need to work on, the things that are incorrect or incomplete, and you're going to resubmit that before we can issue you a certification. A question, will the work be mainly theoretical or will it be also involve practical exercises? I don't know what you mean by the work. Is it for the program? Yeah, the program will be practical all through. Practical all through. So it will be practical all through. So we are going to be teaching you from the beginning and we're going to be, following it up with like real practical. So every class is having practical, but most of them will be practical based. And, you are just going to be learning a lot from it. Yeah. Okay. So please, so you said we might be having a makeup class with the lady that took us on cloud. Was I the one who mentioned that or hostess? Is that still happening? Was I the one who mentioned that was so maybe hostels, maybe you
Mm.
can organize one.
Okay,
Also,
sir. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can organize one, but that will be after graduation. So you can just stop.
Yes, yes.
You can
We are
stop.
working with schedule. We are working with her schedule. So she said she will give me a date when she's ready.
Okay, okay. So, the
Thank
community still exists. So, we are going to just share it with you. Once she's ready to take the class, so you guys can. But that might just be after our graduation because we are working with a schedule. So yeah, Precious, Isiani, yeah, you can talk now. You can unmute yourself and talk. I've given you the mic.
Okay. Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, sorry, please. My question is on a LinkedIn daily post. I had issue with my system, so I couldn't do um, the posting. So when I had access to, I had to do like 2 or 3 daily. Is it acceptable?
It's acceptable, yeah.
Okay.
But just ensure that you are logging it in the form.
So I'm not aware of that, sir. Because I just overheard when you were saying it.
Yeah, just speak to your colleagues. They will tell you. There's a form where you submit the link to every post. So, and that is where we are
Oh,
tracking things from.
I was thinking it's just a WhatsApp group that we need to
No,
post.
no,
Okay.
no, no. WhatsApp group is just meant for engagement, for others to join to engage with your stuff. So there's a
Okay.
proper way we are tracking it. So get the form. So I don't know. That means you didn't probably did you join the onboarding session? We mentioned everything. If you joined, or even if you didn't join, you watched the video, you should have captured all of this information from there. But it's fine, all right. So try to talk to your colleagues, and they are going to help you. Someone is already saying that it's a visibility form. You can chat me up. The person has dropped his number, so you can chat him up. So yeah, Klugan David, over to you. Klugan
Yes,
David.
sir.
Back to
Yes, please.
you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so forgive me. I am coming from a francophone country, like from a francophone base, like a French base.
Okay.
And my intention from the very start is to attract my audience from the French base. So most of my like all of my posts on LinkedIn are in French. Then you can translate
It
from
is
the
okay.
top. Okay, thank you. Please accept it. Thank you very much.
It's accepted. It's okay. Yeah. So we are
Thank you.
encouraging diversity as well, and yeah. So it's not a problem to us. Yeah. Okay, so please, if possible, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, so us to discuss that with Ibrahim as well. So probably can take them one more session as well on Zoom. Yeah, so that will be like 2 sessions, one with Ayamide and one with Ibrahim. So if you want to enjoy Ibrahim more and more, all right, so you can join the Center of Learning and Development we are trying to launch. So it's more of a kind of practical institutes where you learn, like learn and learn. And you're going to learn for 2 months, do internship for 2 months from there. So for me, I just post without submitting on the form. Go and submit on the form. They will share the link to the form after this class. So use the link to log all your submissions. All right. So yeah, the cloud lady is at your midday, so she will come back and take it. All right, guys. So any other questions before we go? If there are none, so Hostus, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for taking out your time to, explain all these things. We sincerely appreciate. We discovered that over time, most of us got very busy that they stopped following up. Some of us don't even look at the slides, right? We just come and then look at what is going on in the group and then go our way. Bear in mind that the things that are going to form your grading or your graduation includes the attendance, the what do you call it, the um, 30 days challenge, and lastly your assignments, then assignments and this project that you are going to be handling. Can you please mute yourself? Okay. So we have been doing a lot from our end. That is the reason why we decided to ensure that we open up all the assignment submission forms, right? And you can see that we divided it into three, right? We have the assignment for class one, assignment submission for class two, and assignment submission for class six. This is to enable us know that these assignments have where they are going, right? And the tutors or the instructors are waiting for these assignments to keep on dropping. We discovered that just few of you have done the submissions and the resubmissions. Please kindly take it as serious as possible. We have equally looked at the day for which your 30 days challenge is going to elapse. And we are seeing it is going to elapse hopefully between the 10th and the 11th of June. So we are looking at still extending it, even though our wonderful lead mentor have given us till June 8th. We are looking at extending everything to the 10th or 11th of June. Why? So that nobody will feel left out. I want you to know that this mentorship is all about impact. And we will be very glad and happy, even if it is one person that is impacted. It is quality over quantity. Bear it in mind. You can see how many people that are on this call after over 1,000 plus persons that we started with. So some people do not what conclude with the strength they started with. That's why we are congratulating most of you that followed through up to this point. We received a lot of messages from people who complained about ill health, from people who complained about losing a family member, from people who complained about work. And then we kept on sympathizing, empathizing, and ensuring to, assuring them that we can all still do these things together, right? These are basically the major reasons why these extensions have become very, very imperative. Please take advantage of it, and we hope to see us at the tail end. Now, just like our lead mentor have given us this information about the CLD coming, we want you to get ready, right? Because when it comes, we want you to see it as an extension of what you have been doing here over time. You're going to go deeper into what you have been learning over time with regards to where you would want to focus. They call it niche, they call it track, whichever one you would want to call it, fine. But then please get ready to take advantage of this. It comes at a cost, I hope you all know. But then we are saying that the best graduating student will get 50% discount here. So be that one person and ensure that you follow up with with updates that are dropping in the whole WhatsApp community, right? If there is any questions, if there is any further clarification, do well to pass through your course rep or the assistant. They can always get through to us. And while we continue to wish you success, we are begging you to remain committed. Just like the lead mentor mentioned, we have noticed to great extent or to greater extent that some of you have decided to continuously deviate from the topics for which you are being told to follow through. We dropped a playlist at the beginning of this mentorship for you to follow through. Endeavor to look at your postings and then make necessary corrections as echoed, please, so that while we are graduating, we'll graduate without challenges or bottlenecks or what have you, right? And may God continue to give you the strength and to bless you as you progress in this journey. Thank you very much. So over to you.
All right, thank you so much, guys. I think Kirsten raised his hand earlier. Do you still want to ask a question? Do you still want to ask? Okay, Klugan, you're raising your hand. All right, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Please, on the deviation, because you mentioned it earlier and Sir also mentioned it right now, deviating in the LinkedIn post. I want to clarify or ask if it is because of the way some of us introduce the subject. Because for instance, my own case, I may introduce the subject with a narrative, but then the content, the main content is specific to the videos we are to watch. Is that a problem, or you are talking about people totally deviating from the content of the day video?
No problem. We are referring to people who are totally deviating from what was given. So
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
this is not a problem. All right, you're welcome. All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining today's meeting or today's class. Please do your project. The deadline is June 8th. Your certificates would start preparing your certificate by June 11. Your graduation is by June 6th. All right, so we are bringing somebody, I know some of you guys have seen the flyer, so we are bringing a white person to come and speak to us out of Nigeria. So you will want to learn, you will want to learn more from the graduation ceremony because she's going to be giving a speech. And I think if I'm not wrong, the title of the speech is, let me check again. Um, so please, those who didn't join this call, go and encourage them to listen to the recording, else they are going to miss out on a lot of things. So the title is AI safety in cybersecurity. Why the next generation of defenders must think like researchers. So that is the topic she will be speaking on. So and the topic for your graduation is beyond the perimeter, cybersecurity in the age of AI. So because we know that, with the way things are going right now, if you are not familiar with this AI thing, you are really, really losing and you are way behind, right? So in fact, I'm not sure anybody will give you a job, a lasting job if you don't really know how to use, or if you don't have a very good knowledge of AI, or you don't know how to use some of existing AI tools um that you can use, right? So that is it. All right, so thank you so much, guys. Kirsten, okay, let me hear from you before we go.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I just wanted to find out on, I think I will change as well concerning the same LinkedIn post. I think I missed the first class and I didn't go through I didn't have time to watch the first video for the class. So I think that's where the problem is. But I've been attending all the classes. As I would say, I've been attending from day one up to now. I've been attending the classes and I've been active. But my problem is on the post. Since we are graduating on 11th of June, from this period, starting from now up to I don't know if it's 10th or 11th, is there like any assurance to say if you you meet this certain mean these things that we do this and that you are going to is there any promise you can give us to say okay if from now I start doing the same LinkedIn post. Yeah, I've been posting, but I've not been submitting on the form. The access to the same post I've been posting and submitted to the same post to the LinkedIn the same form you said the way you're supposed to submit it.
Okay, I think I've addressed this question before now. The link will be dropped again on the group, so you can still submit. Go back to those posts, pick the links one after the other, then submit them in the form. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. So you can still submit, that's no problem. All right, guys, please enjoy the rest of your evening and bye for now.